But if you close your eyes.
Yo guys, Mental Gamer here and welcome back to another video. So I've actually just finished watching Insomniac's live stream on Twitch. It was absolutely amazing, I suggest you go watch it. They actually gave us quite a lot of new details and that's what I'm going to go over in today's video. But before I actually get on with the video, I just want to thank you all so much for over 100 subscribers. I know it probably doesn't seem a lot to many people, but it does mean a lot to me. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with the video. So first of all, I'm going to start off with some smaller details, but we'll get straight into the big ones after. So first of all, Kingpin has actually been confirmed to be Spidey's arch nemesis for the whole 8 years of being Spider-Man. So this means that Fisk has been Spidey's main threat up to the point where we actually defeat him in this game. So to know that straight away in this game we get to take down Spidey's biggest ever threat really goes to show how action-packed this game's going to be. So I'm guessing Kingpin has actually been one of Spidey's most powerful villains, and I'm guessing that's probably because he's obviously very powerful, but also because he's got his own corrupt ways of making people do what he wants. The next thing is that when Peter actually defeats Kingpin in this game, which is obviously near the beginning, he starts to think about maybe leaving his Spider-Man life for a bit and focusing on Peter Parker. We actually heard this in the teaser trailer where Peter says maybe Peter Parker can have more of a life, and this is basically because the city has been safer than it's ever been, and he kind of feels like the city doesn't need Spider-Man as much as he thought, which is then where we hear MJ say,
"Maybe the city needs our friend more than you think."
So I'm guessing those two lines might actually be in the same scene. Now the concept of Peter Parker not being Spider-Man for a while isn't really anything new, we've seen it in movies before, but in this game I feel like it's going to be a really good dynamic, considering the game is based on Peter Parker and Spider-Man's life colliding. Also, quite a fun fact is that MJ is actually confirmed to be a reporter for the Daily Bugle. So this is clearly one of their twists that they're taking with the characters, as Peter Parker is usually the one being a photographer for the Daily Bugle. And maybe the fact that MJ is a reporter, that might translate into the gameplay as her, and also her role in the story. For example, when we play as MJ, maybe we've got to take notes of what's happening so she can report on it later. Now the next thing is actually really quite a big thing, and that is that other characters from the Marvel Universe are actually going to be present in this game. By that I mean there will be loads of evidence that they exist in this universe, but as for them actually appearing as characters, I'm not quite sure about that. For example, in the teaser trailer we did actually see Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum, and that has been confirmed to be Doctor Strange's place. So this obviously opens up loads of possibilities as to different Easter eggs we can get swinging by, and Brian Intihar actually confirmed that as we swing by these different places, Peter will actually comment on the character and the building that it's associated with. A big possibility here as well is that maybe we could even see somewhere like Avengers Tower. Now I know Insomniac might not have the rights to that, so it probably won't happen, but it would be really cool if it did. Now another big detail that was confirmed in the live stream is something that I talked about in my last video, and that is that the bracelets we saw on Peter's arms are confirmed to be web shooters. Now this is really cool already, but something even cooler is that these are the exact same web shooters that Spidey uses in his suit, so they actually transform to be the web shooters we saw on the costume. I could talk all day about the possibilities that can come out of just having ordinary bracelets for web shooters, because we could go around playing as Peter and then have to save someone with our web shooters, like secretly, so no one can see that Peter is actually shooting webs. For example, at the conference we saw where Mr. Negative causes chaos, is Peter going to have to use the bracelet web shooters then to save people from falling debris and stuff like that? There's so many possibilities, it's so cool. Now the next thing is about MJ and Peter's relationship. Now, in interviews, Insomniac have said that Peter and MJ are just best friends. But then in the live stream and in another interview, they've said that their relationship is very complicated. So I think throughout the game there's going to be a lot of romantic tension between the two, and they're both probably going to have feelings for each other, but obviously Peter being Spider-Man, that causes some conflict with being in a relationship, and by the looks of it MJ knows Peter is Spider-Man, so I'm not sure. We're going to have to see how the game turns out. So the next thing is actually something that I've already kind of talked about, but that is the fact that Mr. Negative is confirmed to be Spidey's greatest ever threat in the whole 8 years of Peter being Spider-Man. So before Mr. Negative, it was Kingpin. Kingpin had always been the greatest threat to Spider-Man, but now Mr. Negative is on the scene. He is now the greatest ever threat to face Peter, which kind of suggests that Venom and Carnage haven't actually been introduced to Spider-Man yet, but you never know. So the next thing is actually kind of a big thing. It's definitely cool, and that is that Miles is confirmed to be 15. So 15 is definitely quite young. I kind of thought he looked a bit older, but in the teaser he did definitely look around 15. And to know that he's volunteering at Feast at the age of 15 just goes to show that he's definitely going to have a good personality. Next is that Insomniac have definitely been listening to us, and they know that no one's really a big fan of the shininess on the suit. I personally quite like it. I think it looks fine, but Jacinda Chu confirmed that that is kind of a mistake. They were just experimenting with how they can make reflections look or something like that, and then they kind of went overboard, but they've stated that they're going to change that and lower the reflections to make it look more realistic. So the last thing is actually kind of a small thing, and that is that the banner saying thank you for 5 years of service is actually for Aunt May. She's been working at Feast for 5 years, so that whole scene kind of seems to be a party for Aunt May, maybe. So like a celebration for all of her hard work. So that's my list on some details that you might not know. Obviously there's so much more. Make sure you watch all of Insomniac's interviews like I've said, and also watch the live stream they did on Twitch. That was amazing. Also I want to thank Insomniac because I was one of the winners for the Spider-Man PS4 poster. Also I want to give a quick shout out to Aha Universe Gaming, because he's been commenting a lot on my videos, as has Super Sam, Brian Ingold, all of the people that have been sticking around me lately, and I just want to thank you all for your support. So without further ado, that is the end of the video, guys. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos, comment what you'd like me to do next, and I'll see you all in the next video. I'm Mental Gamer, over and out.